Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of Joe Boo's day job, as well as cooking and tailgating with Joe Boo, as well as Mark Holmes and Joe Boo Sports Report. I am a jack of all trades and a master of none. That whole saying is actually a part of it has been lost in the translation. It's a jack of all trades and a master of none is better than a master of one. Reason being is, for example, especially when you start talking about real estate, I am a real estate investor. Probably don't look like it. In fact, a little interesting story. Um, I do everything. I cook, I build, I paint, I can frame up. In fact, this location that I'm in right now is a place that we built from the ground up with these hands about 14 years ago. And this is an addition onto a house that's a rental property that we had actually built. So we have a garage to keep materials and tools and have a workshop here for when we're working on properties and a place for us to stay. Well, we got away from doing any projects for years and we ended up renting this out. Tenant just moved out and we're getting it together, so hence why I'm covered with paint. Real estate is an interesting investment. It's one of those things that you always see on TV, flipping and things like that. They'll buy the place and they'll fix it up and they'll sell it real quick and all that. That works if the market is a feeding frenzy. But now those who, and I learned this the hard way, because this neighborhood that I'm in right now, I had started out with what was a Pentecostal church in the turn of the 19th century that was in such bad shape that the roof line looked like a horse's back. It swayed. It was that way for so long that when they installed the kitchen cabinets, they stepped down with the floor and the ceiling. I had to tear off the whole roof line to it. I bought it for like $40,000. We had to tear off the whole roof line and reframe all of it up and things and fixed it nice. And we turned around and we sold it. And we took the money from that and then we bought the next house, a house that's behind me. And it looked like it was in the jungles of Southeast Asia. We bought that, fixed it up. I love that house and it still looks great to this day. And then we ended up buying another house, 2 doors down that was basically a storage building for this machine shop that was back behind there. And so on and so on, which was working good because I was basically taking the money and reinvesting it so I didn't have to pay the capital gains on it. But it was growing and growing and growing. I got greedy and I had money to buy one house, a house that you guys have seen me work on over there. It's a farmhouse that I bought a duplex that you've seen me work on too. And I'm working on both of those, but I took all my cash and I dumped it into it for the down payment because I put 20% down as an investment. And then the economy turned in 2009. Killed the flipping. They were now worth less than what I was going to try and sell them for. And nobody was buying at that time. So you can make money flipping when the dynamics are right, but you're actually better off in the long run because if you flip and take the cash, you're going to get hit with the taxes real bad. And right now, because the Fed has been raising interest rates, probably a good time to buy will be this springtime, as a lot of these mortgages with adjustable rates go up and become unaffordable. And as that happens, as people stop buying, that means they have to rent. So then there's a scarcity of renting properties. So that's one of those dynamics. Things may change a bit. Interestingly enough, we have actually some incredible news as it relates to building, owning real estate right now. Again, the price of borrowing money has gone up. The Fed has been raising 0.75% at each meeting and has continued to do that because they want inflation to get under control. We've all seen $11 2x4s. Here's what's really good. The consumer price index today came out a lot lower than what they expected. The inflation numbers seem to be coming back down to earth. The stock market, the Dow Jones, is up about 1,000 points and getting out of the bear market that it had been in. But here's the interesting part. Surprisingly, lumber futures, which of course is the raw price for buying lumber, has actually gone down to the lowest point. It dropped $15, right around $400 1,000 board feet. To put that in perspective, the last time it was this low was 620, almost 2.5 years ago. So expect to see, there's a little hiccup in the OSB because of the hurricane down in Florida, but expect to see the price of lumber continue to go down. It's going to cost you more money to borrow money, true, but people are going to be more motivated to actually sell and get buyers. So the price will come down. And if you're doing a rental property, and here's another one of those things that renting versus selling. Investing is not for the short term. Investing is for the long term. And here's the thing. When you have a rental property, there's tax deductions that you can get. You own a house. One of the few great deductions you have is deducting the interest on your taxes. When you have to fix a place, nobody wants to fix a place, but having to buy my paint and buy new ceiling fans and doing all those things to it, advertising and doing the paperwork on it, your cell phone, because, that's part of one of the things you have to have for your business. You need to buy tools because you're running a business, or it's not where you normally live and you have to go down the road. So, you got to pay for the gas to get there, or if you are eating out on the job, just like when you work for somebody else and they send you someplace for a job and, you save your receipts so you get reimbursed. Well, that's the same thing for you as a business. So there's many benefits to being that landlord and holding things for a long term. And just like the stock market, like I said, which is up 1,000 points today, real estate is still pretty steady. Even though you have the real estate market crashes, and it did. It was bad in 2009. You're going to have a little bit of this coming back down to earth. But the key thing to remember in real estate is you make your money not when you sell it. You make it when you buy it. And what I was always taught is buy the worst house in the best neighborhood you can afford. Because by you putting in that work, you can increase the value to where those houses are. If you buy a house that's the top of the market there's nothing you can really do to improve it. You have to wait for the economy to say that's worth a whole lot more. And that's what I've learned from real estate. That, and by me being able to do the work myself, I'm saving money on paying somebody else. So that's all I got for you guys right now. I appreciate it. If you like hearing and you have questions about real estate and stuff, I will give you the little bit of knowledge that I have. I've always been a person who believes in real estate because, the stock market to me is always funny money. You're telling me today it's worth $50,000 and you're telling me tomorrow it's worth $40,000. Where did that go? I know I can always drive by and see that house is still there. Take it easy.